And then Manak Shrotra. So just by hearing that Shiva Katha, it's very sweet and it's very delightful to the ear and the heart. It purifies our heart completely. It takes away all the dirt from the heart, and it bestows everything. It bestows all the objects of desire. If you have any kind of, even it is a material desire, Mahadeva will satisfy that. And then in course of time you will blossom in Shiva Bhakti. Katayami yata buddhi bhavat prashnanu sarataha Shivalilam prayatnena dvijastam shrunutadharat. And then, O sages, I will explain you the divine leelas of Lord Shiva as far as my knowledge is concerned. So here also the same thing as told by Upamanyu Maharshi, where he says, now to the level I can explain, O Krishna, to the level I can explain about Lord Shiva, I will tell you, because no one can understand Lord Shiva. And that's the same thing told by Suta Maharshi also, prayatnena yata buddhi. So as far as my intelligence, as far as my knowledge is concerned, to the little knowledge that I have, I can tell you. So even Vishnu says the same thing. Varshakoti sakasramto sakasrabdair atanvakam. The Shruti is searching for your feet. The Upanishads are searching for your feet. Sages have been meditating for many years, and they are not, they are willing, they are wanting to see your feet in their lotus heart, but it's not possible. Even I am searching for your feet for crores and crores of years, and I am not able to find. Narada Puranam Purva Bhagam 79th chapter 139th verse, and also the same thing is present in the Padma Purana Patala Kanda 114th chapter 189th verse. So that's where, and there are many examples we can provide. Even Vyasa says the same thing. Vedak Sangopanishadaha Puranad Yatma Nishchayaha Yadatra Paramam Gohyam Savai Devo Maheshwaraha. He says to Arjuna in the last chapter of Drona Parvam Mahabharatam. Whatever that is mysterious or secret, highest secret within the Puranas, Upapuranas, Itihasas, Smritis, Vedas, Upanishads and Dharmashastras is actually dealing only with Maheshwara. Please understand that, O dear Arjuna. And then Vyasa, when Vyasa enters Kashi and then he makes a he makes a statement out of ego. He says that Hari is the only person to be surrendered to. And then Nandi, with just his look, he paralyzes the hands of Vyasa. And then Vishnu comes there and then tells Vyasa, you have made a very offensive statement in this land of Kashi. It's only by the grace of Mahadeva that I am in the position of Vishnu. And it's only by the grace of Mahadeva I have acquired Lakshmi and Aishwaryam and the Maya Shakti. So please remember that. So don't glorify anybody apart from Shambhu, Mahadeva. And then that's where the beautiful Shiva Ashtakam recited by Vyasa Maharshi comes in the 95th chapter of the Kashi Kandam. So which I have given a lecture that is available in my playlist. One can check it out. So no one can understand Lord Shiva. So that's where Suta Maharshi also says he is the reciter of the entire Puranic lore. But he himself says, as far as my intelligence is concerned, I will do so. And then Bhavadbih. Bhavadbih Prichayate Yadvat Tattata Naradena Vai Prishtam Pitre Preritena Harina Shivarupina Brahma Shrutva Sutavacha Shiva Bhaktah Prasannadihi Jagau Shiva Yashah Pritya Harshayan Munisattamam. So and then induced by Vishnu, once Narada Maharshi goes to Vishnu and asks about Shiva Leela, and then he directs him to Brahma. So that's where induced by Vishnu, and then Narada puts the same question. Narada puts this same question that you have asked, O sages, about Lord Shiva to his father Brahma, as you are asking me. So here one thing to be noted, here it says Harina Shiva Rupina, which means Vishnu, a manifestation of Lord Shiva. So one should not be confused. So Mahadeva alone is the supreme reality. Eko Rudro Nadvitiyaya Tatpara Atparato Ishas Tanme Manashiva Sankalpamastu. We have seen that the Vedas don't talk about Harihara. It just talks about Lord Shiva alone as the supreme reality. So when talks of Harihara come, it only refers to that Uma and Maheshwara, Ardhanari Swarupam. Parashakti only is sharing the left half of Paramashiva. It is not that Vishnu. So because, and there are also like statements in the Puranas, because only Puranas talk about that. Again, we have dealt this before. In the very first Katha I have said, only when the Purana Vakyams align with the Veda Mantras and Upanishads, then only it should be accepted. And otherwise it should be rejected. So nowhere in the, Puranas or Upanishads, nowhere in the Vedas or Upanishads where actually Vishnu is actually considered to be equal to Shiva. Shiva alone is the supreme, ultimate reality. Nadvitiyaya, he is one without a second. There cannot be anyone equal to him or greater than him. So there are statements in the Puranas like Shivaya Vishnu Rupaya, Shiva Rupaya Vishnave. So how to understand that? That is also referring only to Parashakti Mata and Paramashiva. Also it can deal, we can understand in such a way that Vishnu's Antaryami is Mata Parashakti and Paramashiva. So he always engages in devotion to Lord Shiva, and then he gets that, bliss of engaging in devotion to Lord Shiva. And that's where we have places where Lord, in the Varaha Puranam 213th chapter also, Lord Shiva says, after being pleased by Nandi's devotion, he makes a statement, oh Nandi, now you have acquired my form. So there is no difference between us. You are me and I am you. And then whoever hurts you hurts me, and whoever praises you praises me. So does this mean that Nandi and Lord Shiva are the same? No. So out of pleasing devotion, looking at the pleased devotion of Nandi, Shiva says that. Still that Bedam occurs. If we go and say, oh Nandi, you are Parvati Pati, he will slap us. Don't ever come to Shiva temple. That's what Nandi would say. So out of being pleased by Nandi's devotion, he says that. He is not, because he is not willing to, Lord Shiva is compassionate, Karuna Sagara. So even if someone insults him, he will, forgive. But if someone insults his devotees, he will never forgive. So that's where we have statements like Shivaya Vishnu Rupaya, so which just refers to Vishnu's Antaratma is actually Mahadeva. So these kind of statements are there, like where Lord Shiva says to Nandi and Upamanyu that you and I are the same. But we have to understand that properly. The Vedas only talk of Lord Shiva being the supreme. And there are other statements also in the Puranas. For example, Brahma Gita, 6th chapter, 54th verse, where the Chandogya Upanishad Vivaranam is done in Sutta Samhita. Kadhyoto yedi chandabano sadrishas tulyo harihi shambhuna. So when the talk of this talk comes actually where Hari and Shambhu are equal or not, that where actually the statement comes, Kadhyoto, when an insect is there, right? Insect is there. When a mosquito or an insect can equal the sun. So the sun is actually the giver of light for the entire planets. From here if we see, it just looks like a ball, a small ball. But as actually giving the light, giving light for all the planets, Ananta Koti Brahmanda. And that Surya himself is actually one of the eyes of Lord Shiva. Tapana Indu Agni Nayana. So that, if you can say that the insect is equal to the sun, then you can say that Hari is equal to Lord Shiva. When can an insect be equal to the sun? What is an insect or a mosquito in front of the sun? So like that, what is Hari in front of Lord Shiva? So comparing, Sutta Maharshi himself says, comparing an insect with the sun is like comparing Hari with Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva alone is the supreme reality. No one can equal him or no one is greater than him. So that we have to understand. So manifestation of Lord Shiva means Vishnu has that divine qualities of Uma and Paramashiva. But he is also bound by Shiva Maya, and he is also bound by Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, and he is also belongs to the Jiva Tattva category. But he is the Shreshta, he is the greatest of all individual souls, greatest Jivatma. And then Brahma, a devotee. So hearing the words actually of his son, Narada Maharshi, posts the same question to Brahma. And then Brahma, a devotee of Lord Shiva, Shiva Bhaktihi, that's what it says, was delighted after hearing the question of Narada Maharshi. And out of love, he sang the glory of Lord Shiva to Narada. And then Rishaya Uchahu, the sages after hearing that, they talk to Suta Maharshi. Rishaya Uchahu. Suta Mahabhaga Shaivottama Mahamate Shrutva Tava Vacho Ramyam Cheto Nassa Kutuhalam. What they say is, oh blessed Suta Mahabhaga, you are the foremost. Shaivottama. Shaiva Uttama. You are Shaivottama. You are the Uttama of all the Shaivas. You are the greatest of all the, you are the greatest of all devotees of Lord Shiva. Since you are actually, the Katha is coming out of the mouth of Suta Maharshi, they say that. And then on hearing your most delightful words, our minds have become eager to know more. Shrutva tava vacho. After hearing your vacham, after hearing your speech, and then our minds have become more eager to know, about Lord Shiva. And then Kada Babuva Sukha Krid Vidinara Dayor Mahan Samvado Yatra Girishasu Leela Bhava Mochini Vidhi Narada Samvada Purvakam Shankaram Yashaha Bruhinastata Tatpritya Tat Prashnanu Sarataha. And then tell us, the conversation that happened between Brahma and Narada. That's what the sages say to Suta Maharshi. Wherein Mahadeva's glory is sung. And then the divine Leelas of Lord Shiva are sung, which is the only way to, destroy this worldly existence. Only by hearing the Shiva Leelas and the glories of Lord Shiva and doing Shivanama Sankirtanam, the destruction of the repeated cycles of birth and death happens. So that's where Siddhanta Shikamani 9th chapter 2nd verse says, Shravanam Kirtanam Shambhoho Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atma Nivedanam. Shravanam Kirtanam, the 9 steps for devotion. Shravanam, by hearing about Lord Shiva. Hearing about Lord Shiva happens by spending time with Shiva Bhaktas. Only by hearing, then only you will get that curiosity to know more. If when a movie releases, we are interested, curious to watch that movie and what is being said in that movie, right? So that interest will come by spending time with Shiva Bhaktas. And only by hearing Shiva Katha, one can transcend the repeated cycles of birth and death. And that goal, that thing should be there. Because, as I stated yesterday also, it is very important for a human being to think about that, where, how to get liberated. Because that sixth sense is given to us to think about how to attain liberation. Because a dog or a cat doesn't have that sixth sense. It always looks for eating and sleeping and mating and defending. So Shravanam Kirtanam Shambhoho, by hearing about Lord Shiva, Shravanam, and then Kirtanam, doing Shivanama Sankirtanam, Shambhoho, of that personality Shambhu, Smaranam Padasevanam, thinking of Mahadeva in the heart. Thinking of the divine form of Lord Shiva along with Mata Parashakti sitting in the left lap of Paramashiva in the heart. And then Mananam Pada Sevanam, Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atma Nivedanam. Smaranam Pada Sevanam. So Pada Sevanam is where you engage in serving the feet of Lord Shiva. That feet that even Brahma and Narayana are searching for. Archanam, doing Archanam. Vandanam. And then offering prostrations, offering namaskarams, Archanam Vandanam, Dasyam. So thinking yourself as a servant of Lord Shiva. And Sakyam, engaging, thinking of yourself as a friend of Lord Shiva. Sundaramurti Nayanar thought himself to be the friend of Lord Shiva. And Dasya, Manikavasagar and Nandi, Upamani, always they thought that they are the dasas of Lord Shiva. Atma Nivedanam, Akka Mahadevi, Beja Mahadevi are examples of Atma Nivedanam. Completely drenched in Shiva Bhakti, completely selfless Bhakti. So, and then interestingly, the same things come in the Shiva Mahapurana, Vidyeshwara Samhita, 4th chapter, 16th and the 19th verse. Shravanam Kirtanam Shambhor Mananam Cha Mahattaram. So, Suta Maharshi already says the same thing in the beginning of Shiva Mahapurana. Again, he says the same thing here. So, Shravanam Kirtanam Shambhor Mananam Cha Mahattaram Trayam Sadhana Muktam Cha Vidyate Veda Sammatam. In the Vidyeshwara Samhita 4th chapter, he says this Shravanam Kirtanam Shambhoho and Shravanam Kirtanam and Mananam of Shambhu, engaging and hearing about Lord Shiva, doing Shivanama Sankirtanam and thinking of the divine form of Lord Shiva as explained in the Upanishads and the Vedas is actually the highest of all. Mahattaram, Trayam sadhana muktam cha. All these three are equal to the Vedas. Veda sammatam. It is equal to reading the Vedas. Just by doing these three things. And then again he says in the 19th verse, Shravanam Kirtanam Shambor Mananam Veda Sammatam Trikam Cha Sadhanam Muktau Shivena Mama Bhashitam. Says the same thing. It's equal to the Vedas. Again and again he says the same thing. And that's why you see, it's Jabala Upanishad itself talks of, Yajnavalkya Maharshi says, it's only by chanting the Shatarudriyam one attains immortality. All the brahmacharis ask, all the sages ask, how to attain immortality, and then the reply comes Shatarudriyam. It's only by chanting the names of Lord Shiva one attains immortality. By engaging in Shiva Nama Sankirtanam and chanting the names of Lord Shiva, one attains immortality. By hearing about Lord Shiva only, one attains immortality. And then by meditating on Lord Shiva. It's only Shiva's features. Uma Sahayam Parameshwaram Prabhum. Somak Pavate Janitamatinam. Kailasa Shikarabasa Himavadgiri Kanyakaha Nilakantam Trinetram cha Tanme Manashiva Sankalpamastu. Namo Hiranyabhagave Hiranyavarnaya Hiranyarupaya Hiranyapatayembikapataya Umapataye Pashupataye Namo Namaha. Ratakam Satyam Param Brahma Purusham Krishna Pingalam Murdvaretam Virupaksham Vishwarupam Namamyaham. Eshate Rudrabhagas Tanjushaspathena Vasena Paro Mujapatoti Havya Patatatanva Pinaka Hastaha Kritivasaha. It's only Mahadeva's features that are described in the Vedas and Upanishads that one should meditate on. Mananam. And these three are actually, by meditating on the form of Lord Shiva alone, one attains immortality. Veda Sammatam, it's equal to the Vedas. Itya Karnya, and then he continues, Vachastesham Muninam Bhavitatmanam Sutah Provacha Supritas Tat Sambadanu Sarataha. On hearing the words of the sages of noble mind, Suta Maharshi was very much pleased, and then he narrated everything pertaining that was related to the conversation that happened between Brahma and Narada. Iti Shiva Mahapurane Dvitiyayam Rudra Samhitayam Pratamakande Srishtyupakyane Muni Prashna Varnano Nama Pratamodhyayaha. So the first adhyayam is done in the first section of Rudra Samhita in Shiva Mahapurana. Moving on to the second chapter. So we'll be seeing only for 1 hour, and then I'll be like 15 more minutes. 15 minutes. And the second chapter starts off with Suta Maharshi answering to the questions raised by the sages in the first chapter. He shares the conversation that happens between Brahma and Narada. And this conversation that happens between the sages and Suta Maharshi is given by Vyasa. That's where we see in the first chapter it says Vyasa Uvacha, Vyasa Uvacha. Vyasa says, Suta Maharshi, Suta Uvacha, Etasmin Samaye Vipra Narado Munisattamaha Brahmaputro Vinitatma Taportam Mana Adade Himashaila Guha Kachid Eko Parama Shobhana Yat Samipe Suranadi Sada Vahati Vegataha. So Narada Maharshi, the great sage and also the son of Brahma, was inclined to perform penance, controlling himself. By default you cannot control yourself, your senses. I'll come to that later. And then Himashaila. So there's a very beautiful cave in the Himalaya mountain, where the various celestial rivers, they flow rapidly. Very beautiful cave in the Himalaya mountain. And then Tam Drishtva Muni Shardulas Tepesa Suchiram Tapaha Badvasanam Dridam Mauni Pranana Yamya Shuddadihi Chakre Munis Samadim Tam Aham Brahmeti Yatraha Vijnanam Bhavati Brahma Sakshatkarakam Vijaha. So, and then on seeing the hermitage, okay, this hermitage looks good for doing penance. And then he went there, and then he seated, and he was sitting there, and then controlling his breath, and then keeping silent, and retaining the his intellect. And then he actually, it is described that in the realization of Aham Brahmasmi, he was having the direct perception of Brahman. So, how the Brahman is described in the Vedas? Actually, it is described with the form Saguna Brahman. And of course, you find the words Nirgunam, Vibhum, Arupam also. But that just explains the infiniteness of the Supreme Reality, Mahadeva. That itself by default it's just an attribute. Just like you say Pashunam Pati, the Lord of all Pashus, the one who has everything under his control. That is one of the attribute of Lord Shiva. Likewise, the infiniteness, he is all pervading. Vishvatas Chakshuruta. Apani Pado, his legs and hands are everywhere. So that is just that all pervasiveness of the divine formed Maheshwara. So that's where Aham Brahmasmi is beautifully described by Nagalinga Garu in the 11th book as, I am the devotee of that supreme reality. It's not that you are that, ultimate reality, as the Mayavadins say. So here in that realization, he was, that is, and also connecting this to another story that I have mentioned in, Padma Purana, where Vishnu initially, like after getting Shiva Diksha, he meditates on Lord Shiva. We have seen this many times, he meditates in his heart and then he just sees a Jyoti. Just, Ananta Jyoti, infinite Jyoti. And then Lord Shiva himself says in reply, your knowledge is incomplete. Tato Basma Bhakshayeti Harimaha Harastataha Bhakshayishye Shivam Basma Snatmaham Basmanapura. Oh Vishnu, your knowledge is incomplete. Your knowledge is not complete. Just by meditating on the Jyoti, your knowledge is not complete. So you get initiated, you eat the Basma and bathe with the Basma. And then he does that and then he meditates. Shiva requests Vishnu to meditate. And then Vishnu meditates in his heart. And then he sees Shuddhas Patika Sankasham Trinetram Dvibujam Shivam Varadam Dakshino Haste Vamecha Abhayadam Vivam Panchavarshiya Papusham Sharachandra Yutadgyutim. This is just a part of the description of Lord Shiva. Beautiful description, because the entire body of Lord Shiva is described. Now Vishnu sees in his heart Shuddha Spatika Sankasham, crystal white personality. Trinetram, he has three eyes. Dvibhujam, he has two hands. Shivam, who is all auspicious. Varadam Dakshino Haste, in his right hand he was giving boons. Vamecha Abhayadam Vibhum, in his left hand he was showing Abhaya, fearlessness. And then Panchavarshiya Papusham. He was like looking like a 5-year-old person. Panchavarshi, he is the oldest of all, Jeshta, Shreshta, but he was looking like a 5-year-old kid. Panchavarshi Vapusham. Sharachandra Yutadgyutim. And then it goes on to describe the ornaments on the body of Lord Shiva, various things. And then Vishnu realizes, oh, this is that personality I am, that is standing in front of me. And then I am initiated by him. And that is that personality I am seeing in my heart. And he is the Antaratma of all the living entities, including this universe, Vishvatma. So let me surrender to him. Namastestu Hariraha Puradrishtaha Purushaha Shanta Vigraha Ityudirya Mahavishnu Shiva Pade Papatata. He falls directly, Mahavishnu falls to the feet of Lord Shiva. And then he says, Na Shakyam Basmano Jane Prabhavam Va Kutastava Namastestu Twameva Sharanam Gataha. This comes in the Padma Purana, Patala Kanda, 105th chapter. 234th verse. It is also mentioned in the Brihajabala Upanishad, 6th Brahmana. Namastestu. When I cannot understand the glory of the sacred ash, how can I ever understand your glory? So I surrender to you, O Mahadeva. Tvameva Sharanam Gataha. I surrender to you. He says, so that is the glory of Basma. It leads you to Lord Shiva in course of time. So never. And then Lord Shiva in reply, he says, my devotee will never cast aside the Basma. Basma Dharana Sampanno Mama Bhakto Bhavishyati. So he will never leave the Basma. Always he will be having Basma on his body. And that's where here also, like that Aham Brahmasmi means actually it's that I am the Das of Lord Shiva. Because that's where also Ishavasya Upanishad says, Hiranmayena Patrena. It describes that effulgence coming out of the Jyoti, Ananta Jyoti coming out of that body of Lord Shiva. And then it says, Hiranmayena Patrena Satyasya Hitam Mukam. I want to see the divine face of the Supreme Lord that is hidden in that Ananta Jyoti. And then next verse goes on to say, Tejo Yatte Rupam Kalyanatamam. That form which is described with Ananta Kalyana Gunas, divine qualities and divine attributes, that form which is hidden. I want to, see that, the divine form. So that's the thing. So here he is trying to have that perception of the supreme reality. Ittam tapati tasmin vai narade munisattame chakampeta shunasiro manasantapa vihvalaha manasiti vichintyasau munirme rajyamichati tad vigna karanartam hi hariryatna niyeshasaha. And then when Narada Maharshi actually when Narada Maharshi he is described as performing penance in that perception, trying to have that perception of that supreme reality. And then Indra, the mind of Indra becomes agitated. Always Indra is described as trying to disturb the people, because he thinks, he is thinking that this sage is looking for my kingdom. Manasiti vichintyaso. Indra started thinking in his mind, okay, this sage, this Narada Maharshi, Narada Muni is actually looking for my kingdom. So I'm, afraid. So let me try to spoil his penance. And what did Indra do in order to spoil the penance of Narada Maharshi? We'll be seeing that tomorrow. Same time, 9 to 10. I'll be sending out the meeting links. Thank you. I'll chant the Kshama Prarthana mantra and then we can take up some questions. Om yadaksharappada brashtam matrahinam tiyadbhave tatsarvam kshamyatam deva parameshwara namostute visarga bindu matrani padapadaksharani cha nyunani cha tiriktani kshamasva parameshwara aparada sagasrani kriyante harnisham maya daso yamiti mam matva kshamasva parameshwara anyata sharanam nasti tvameva sharanam mama tasmat karunya bhavena रक्ष रक्ष परमेश्वरे अन्यता शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष परमेश्वर एतत् सर्वं श्री उमा महेश्वर परब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु ललिताम्बिके साम्ब शिवार्पणमस्तु श्रीमती गौरी समेत साम्ब शिवार्पणमस्तु श्रीमती गायत्री समेत साम्ब शिवार्पणमस्तु करचरणकृतं वाक्कायजं कर्मजं वा श्रवणनयनजं वा मानसं वा परादं विहितम् अविहितं वा सर्वम् एतत् क्षमस्व जय जय करुणाब्दे श्रीमहादेव शम्भो माता च पार्वती देवी पिता देवो महेश्वर वन्दवा शिवभक्तांश्च स्वदेशो भुवनत्रयं साम्ब शिवाय नमः साम्ब शिवाय नमः साम्ब शिवाय नमः हर ओं तत्सत्।